call Lagos State Task Force agree to us. We resist. We will stand our ground. We are not to be taught. As you can see, we are all tear gas in our houses. But the people are resisting. They are saying no to a land grabbing Temu Pharaoh, call himself a king.
Fortunately, this confrontation marks the latest escalation in a months-long dispute over the demolitions in that area. The controversy began after several buildings were demolished in September, triggering protests on the Third Mainland Bridge, with residents saying bulldozers moved in at night and demolished houses without adequate notice, leaving many families homeless. Well, on Sunday, a video emerged showing a bulldozer demolishing a house, allegedly with people still inside. Let's take a look.
They are going to kill people in the house. They are going to kill people. They are going to kill people. There are people inside their house. There are people inside this house.
People will get rich for this area. They don't get them. Who wish for this area? Tell us to make the engine knock.
Well, this operation has drawn widespread condemnation online. Conducting demolitions at night, allegedly with thugs beating residents and looting property, violates both procedures and basic human rights standards. Let's take some tweets. This is from Gbadebo Rose Vival, who wrote, "Government cannot exist only for the interests of the rich. In a state that is over 75% poor, you cannot justify coming like a thief at midnight to demolish people's houses without giving them time to move their belongings. These lands are being appropriated to be sold for huge amounts. Those costs must factor in a dignified, honest, and transparent relocation program for all those affected. The Lagos government cannot solely exist to serve the interests of the rich. It is #our Lagos." Another ex-user wrote, "This is pure lawlessness and wickedness, demolishing people's homes in the middle of the night while they're still inside. That's not enforcement. That's an inhumane act, even in a country where order is fading. This level of disregard for human life is terrifying. Lagos deserves better governance, not midnight terror against its own citizen." Another ex-user wrote, "This is what we call made in Lagos, Nigeria. You demolished a building in the night when you can barely see it or see if anyone needs to be rescued due to the demolition or if something needs to be protected first. Demolition companies need to think about health and safety before using that machine. Sadly, most of these companies' founders obtain their licenses not by going through the knowledge of demolition. Lagos State government, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while visiting other great cities, should explore the demolition companies and check how it's done. Health and safety is important." Dr. Abati, this is huge because it's not just infringing on people's rights. There's also the health hazards associated with demolition a property. But in a swift rebuttal, the Lagos State government or the Lagos State Police Command defended the demolition exercise, with Public Relations Officer Abimbola Adebisi denying reports of illegal action and officer misconduct during the exercise. Well, in an official statement, the police asserted that the demolition carried out by the state government agencies followed all legal processes, stating that official notices were given to occupants over several months and compensation had been paid to those affected. And we're getting reports that some leaders in the community are insisting that no compensation was given to them before this new round of demolitions. As we speak, there are talks of protests that will be going on the Third Mainland Bridge by residents of those that have been affected. Meanwhile, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and human rights lawyer Femi Falana has accused the Lagos State government of carrying out unlawful demolition in Oworoshoki. Falana stated that the Lagos State High Court had previously issued an interim order to halt further demolitions, but the state government allegedly acted in flagrant breach and contempt, and he argued that the action by the Lagos State government is a mockery of the rule of law. Well, the Lagos state government has defended the action as necessary to remove illegal floodplain structures to prevent flooding, saying it has started compensation payments of up to 300,000 naira to verified claimants, or even more. Well, the government also held a ceremony at the Palace of Oworo Kingdom, supervised by the Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency, to present checks to 79 Oworo community residents. I mean, we have images here, we have pictures to show that the Lagos state government did offer these residents compensation. Dr. Abati, I'd like for you to unpack all the stories. Okay. First of all, the fact that they actually disregarded a Lagos State High Court order, as Femi Falana has said, and demolishing people's property in the middle of the night.
Okay, there are many dimensions to this. The legal dimension, the equity dimension, the traditional dimension, the ethnic and political dimension. Let me take them one by one. Now, both Amnesty International and Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, are saying that there is a subsisting court order which says do not demolish these people's houses until the matter before the court has been determined. Now, if it is true that the Lagos state government went ahead to demolish, as Femi Falana, SAN, claims, about 100 houses, then, of course, that is questionable. We expect that our government will respect the rule of law. When matters are pending before courts of law, government should be responsible enough and not engage in the act of impunity of disobeying the court of law. That is the legal part of it. There's also the traditional part of it. The people of Oworo, they are saying, particularly in the Ujulari community, that their Baale is also complicit. You will expect that a traditional ruler would defend the interests of his people. But they are saying that the Baale of Oworo has a case to answer because they claim that he was the one who even invited the police when the people were protesting. And there have been reports of people being brutalized and also being tear-gassed yesterday by the people of the community, on the basis of which the people are now threatening that they will lock down Third Mainland Bridge this morning. I do not think that the people, no matter how aggrieved they may be, should take the laws into their hands and then lock down the Third Mainland Bridge, and other innocent Nigerians who will need to do business between the mainland and the island will now have to suffer for either the negligence of government or the negligence of the Baale of Oworo. The third part of it has to do with how the state government is treating all of this. Tokumbo Wahab, who is the commissioner in charge of housing or environment. Environment
and water resources.
Yes, it was on Arise TV over the weekend, and he said that, look, the government of Lagos State is only acting in line with the law, with environmental regulations. And there is a 2013 law that says that, look, the Lagos State or ruling of the Supreme Court that says that the state government has the right to regulate planning, physical planning, and building structures within its jurisdiction. And that, Oworo, as well as in trade fair, that what you have is that these people have violated the law. And that the Lagos state government is just enforcing the law, removing illegal structures which are constituting a menace to environmental safety in Lagos state. We say that, look, why the law is important, why we say also that the government must respect the rule of law, now government must have a human face.
This is the point.
The big danger in it is that people are now reading ethnicity and politics into it. When it was the turn of the people at trade fair, the argument was that, Igbos are being targeted in Lagos State, Igbo buildings are being demolished. Now it's Oworo.
All right, Dr. Abati,
it is Yoruba people.
We have limited time, but at the end of the day, you are absolutely right. The fact that the government has to have a human face in this whole thing is the major point.
No, but the politics now is that people of Oworo are saying that they voted for APC, that they are APC supporters. Now they are demolishing houses of APC supporters in Oworo. Regulation. And that people must learn in Lagos State to respect the rule of law.
Right.
However, it is a question of how the government of Lagos State wants to be remembered.
Right. All right. I wish we all had a moment to speak on this, because the idea that these people went in the middle of the night and you heard some people saying, you know, there are people living in there, I think it is really absurd and it's completely inhumane. I think this is the point that should be stressed really as well. I think that there should be some also sort of a relocation order as well from the Lagos State government for these residents that are clearly aggrieved. Well, we'll head over to Anambra State now, where Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo has stirred controversy after announcing cash rewards for every ward won by his party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, in the forthcoming November 8 governorship election. While speaking on Saturday during the party's campaign rally in Umuneze, Soludo promised to give 1 million naira to any ward that wins, while the first 3 performing wards will get 5 million naira, 2 million naira, and 1 million naira respectively. Well, let's take a look before we take some reactions.
Next week, another prize. November 8th. November 8th, another challenge. Another challenge. Another challenge. No room banine ward up win. Uno win ran a ward on another 1 million again. Mana no room banine ward up first, they went up 5 million. Ward up second, they went 3 million. Ward over third again, what about 2 million? After November 8th, can the ward about first get that?
I mean, Rufai, this pledge has provoked backlash from opposition parties and civil society organizations who describe the move as open inducement, vote buying, and abuse of office. I'll take some tweets. This is from Asawa, who wrote, "That kind of promise raises serious ethical questions. Offering financial rewards tied to votes can blur the line between motivation and manipulation. Elections should be about good governance and trust, not monetary incentives. Leadership built on loyalty, not money, lasts longer." Another ex-user wrote, "This is strong evidence of a non-performing governor. Good governance speaks for itself. You don't need to reward people to deliver your mandate if you're performing. Encouraging vote buying is a sign of failed administration. Shame on this man." Well, the Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law Mefo, has dismissed the accusations, describing the governor's promise as a simple act of motivation to energize supporters. I know we've discussed this, but I want to also tie in this story so we can discuss both really quickly. Meanwhile, 6 members of the National Youth Service Corps have filed a lawsuit against the Anambra State government, Chukwuma Soludo, and the state's vigilante group, Agunechemba, demanding 1 billion naira in damages over an alleged assault and unlawful detention. The corps members whose assault by gun-wielding vigilante operatives, including the reported beating and stripping of 1 victim, was captured in a viral video in August. The corpers are seeking compensation for the mental, physical, and psychological trauma suffered after being falsely accused of being internet fraudsters. While in the lawsuit filed before the Federal High Court in Awka, the plaintiffs are also requesting the court to declare their abuse unconstitutional and to compel the respondents to issue written public apology in national and local newspaper. I love the way that citizens take up their rights at this point. I think that it is quite instructive that they were able to go ahead to sue the government. I mean, this Agunechemba, we've seen that they've been harassing people for a while. Rufai.
Oji, you want 1 minute? Let me give you 1 minute. You see, all the stories just show a thread of lawlessness.
Correct.
It is only in a lawless country that there's going to be a court order and they will still go ahead and hurt people and do demolition in the night. But in the same country, the police now expects everybody to respect their court order of protest. You can see the lawlessness and the hypocrisy. It is also part of the lawlessness that makes a professor be announcing monetary inducement for votes.
During a rally.
During a rally leading up to an election. This is the same professor that said he will turn the place into Dubai. If he has truly turned the place into Dubai, all he should just say to the electorate is, I remember I've turned this place into Dubai, vote for me. But because clearly the place has not been turned into Dubai, what has it been turned to? It has been turned into a beating parlor when NYSC members are being beaten due to Agune Chamber activity, and now they are being taken to court. So it's a cacophony of lawlessness. But the funny thing is that this government now think that they will not enforce the law. I'm giving you 1 minute.
Rufai on fire. Thank you, Dr. Abati. Unfortunately, we don't have time. We'll head over to Edo State. Really, we don't have time.
Chamber.
Oh, we don't have time,
Chamber means the lion that protects the community.
Yes.
Maybe they have to do something about that name, because I don't see how lions can protect the community.
All right, very well.
And these lions in Anambra, they are now devouring the community.
We've heard so many stories about them.
It's a problem about even the nomenclature of Agune Chamber.
Well, all right. We'll head over to Edo State now, where Aisha Wahab, the 22-year-old girl from Auchi who was abducted 2 weeks ago, regained her freedom over the weekend after a 20 million naira ransom was paid to secure her release. Human rights activist Harrison Gwamanishu, who helped secure her release, called out the Edo State government for failing to collaborate with rescue efforts. Well, in a post on Instagram, Gwamanishu, who is the founder of Behind Bars Human Rights Foundation, said security agencies and the Edo State government failed to respond to calls for collaboration during efforts to rescue Aisha, and as such, he couldn't move in to capture her abductors. Gwamanishu explained that certain technical equipment required for the rescue operation could only be deployed with official authorization, which was not granted despite repeated attempts to reach the authorities. Well, in a heartwarming video, Gwamanishu shared the moment Aisha was released.
Jesus. Oh, yeah, turn. Take care. No worry.
Aisha, how do you feel?
I feel so happy. I'm hot. Thank you.
Mama, shall I tell you, say your picking will come out today?
Yeah, you tell me, you try.
And she came out.
God go help you.
Nah, assalamu alaikum, go thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
What do you do me?
Assalamu alaikum.
God will bless you.
Assalamu
This is so heartwarming. A true patriot, Gwamanishu also confirmed, adding 5 million naira to the 15 million naira reportedly raised. This incident highlights critical gaps in security coordination and government responsiveness to kidnapping cases. I reached out to Gwamanishu himself, and he confirmed that he's now in touch with the Department of State Services for better collaboration. I mean, kudos to the DSS for also reaching out to him. And I'm happy to hear that there's some sort of collaboration with the Department of State Services and Gwamanishu. This is the sort of news that we want to hear. But I mean, calling out the Edo State government.
Yeah, a very sad one there. And I hate that we have to politicize lives.
Yes.
In this instance, Aisha, because the PDP and the APC in the state have been trading words. But the truth has to be said. The Edo State government, despite what Mr. Kasima Fegwa had said to the PDP that they were on top of things with accuracy and equity, did next to nothing in this situation.
Yes.
In fact, ransom, which there has often been said by security agents in Nigeria, was paid in this instance. And that's why we keep saying that the reason why ransom payment cannot stop or has not stopped is because the people feel helpless, number one. Number two, the state security operatives did nothing, even when this private citizen asked for collaboration with them. It is high time the governor stopped going around politicking and finally get down to the business of governance in the state. Instead of going around advocating and campaigning for the president, let him give Edo State people what he promised them during campaign season and actually be governor in that state. And that's what we're asking. I think it's quite a shame that it got to this point where they said trading was over human life. Human life. Very sad.
Every life matters. It is so important that the government has to show this human face that we're asking for. I did reach out to the Edo State government, and my response was not so encouraging. My producer also reached out to the Edo State Police Command. They did not respond to her.
They've only been defensive,
yes,
and they didn't do right by this woman.
Fantastic.
Thanks to all those who stood up for her in the time
everybody.
of need.
I mean, thank you. Thank you. Welcome home, Aisha, and thank you, Harrison Gwamanish.